Currently, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has grossed $10,916,958,583 in the worldwide box office. In June 1961, Marvel Comics released Journey into Mystery number 69 and Patsy Walker number 95. Each of these comics sold for 10 cents each. Throughout recent history, comic books have provided entertainment to millions and have evolved from comic books into more outlets of entertainment, such as TV shows or cinematic universes. Comic books have evolved greatly throughout the years and have shifted from books to TV to the internet and movies. The history of comic books can be summarized into three stages: the origin of comic books, the Golden Age, and the Silver Age. The first published comic strip was published in 1825 in the Glasgow Looking Glass. These comics were made essentially as satire about the world around them, teasing politics and fashion. They used the same format as the comics that would later be used for superheroes. They used speech bubbles and captions in the same way that current comics have their format. Before comic books, pulps essentially served the same purpose. Pulps were essentially books sold at newsstands that featured heroes going on exotic adventures. None of these heroes had special powers that were recognized exactly, though some did exhibit abilities that were above what a normal person could do. For example, Popeye wasn't advertised as a superhero, but he did exhibit extra strength when he ate spinach. The first comic superhero was a vigilante known as the Phantom, who made his debut in 1936. Again, he did seem to accomplish non-human feats, but was shown as a normal human being otherwise. Many future heroes have followed his lead of a normal human accomplishing amazing things in order to fight crime, such as Batman. Around the same time the Phantom was created, so was a character called the Clock, who was the first hero who was a detective to be shown wearing a mask to hide his identity. This has been followed by a lot of heroes coming after, almost every hero coming after. This brings us to the Golden Age of comic books. The Golden Age of comic books is essentially the beginning of what is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. This all began with the creation of Superman in 1938. Other superheroes such as Flash Gordon and the Shadow were created by this time, but neither possessed anywhere near the powers that Superman had been shown to have. The Superman concept was constantly rejected by newspapers and comics, and now Superman is one of the most recognized people on the planet. Batman comics came soon after. Batman was essentially the antithesis to Superman when it came to image. Superman was known more so for being clean and morally just, whereas Batman was dark and gritty. They also differed in that Batman was also a hero without powers, whereas Superman was known for how powerful he was compared to the normal man. This sparked an entire generation of superheroes that were made with different powers and personalities. The popularity of comics in the Golden Age may have been due to World War II. Comic books and heroes such as Superman essentially encapsulated everything that was good and American about America. Once World War II began, this definitely shows in both Superman and comics such as Captain America. A full 9 months before the war even began for America, comics had shown Captain America punching Adolf Hitler in the face. Comics also showed superheroes doing what they could do to support the war, such as stop spies at home, deliver supplies, and in general support soldiers. This brings us to the Silver Age of comics. After World War II, comic sales seem to have depreciated. This actually gave way into writers increasing character development, new themes, and overall situations more than a hero saving the day. While the Golden Age focused more on horror and war stories, the Silver Age focused more on the heroes themselves. They'd find themselves in moral trouble, more so than the Golden Age, giving way to develop them as people. They also were put in more outlandish situations in order to showcase their powers and potential. The Silver Age also gave way to Marvel's popularity. Marvel seemed to have focused more on the realistic superheroes that were more easily explained by science. For example, Spider-Man came from the Silver Age and was more of an everyman character, or had flaws such as everyone else in personal struggles. The effects of the Silver Age are still shown as comic books and movies tend to lead towards science fiction in order to explain the content of their material. Which brings us to today. Today, Marvel and DC Comics make billions of dollars a year with using the same characters as the comic books that they created in the mid-1900s. Superhero media has been around since the 1930s and has stood the test of time by reinventing itself to become more modern as time progresses. It took us through the Golden Age, where war was our prime motivator, the Silver Age, where heroes became closer to people, and to the modern day, where superheroes are personalized to the point where everyone can have a favorite that they relate to. Comic books and superheroes have been around for a long time, and with how it's looking now, they will for a while longer.